You ever feel like no matter how much you draw, you're just not getting better? Like you're putting in the time, filling up sketchbooks, trying new brushes in Procreate, but somehow you still look the same. Yep, been there, and it's frustrating. You start wondering if you've hit your peak, or maybe you're just not cut out for this. But let me tell you, you are. And if you feel stuck right now, I promise you, there is a way out. I was at that point too, and I continue to encounter these frauds from time to time. Today, I want to talk about the five biggest reasons why artists get stuck in their progress, and more importantly, how to fix it. So, grab your pencil, keep sketching, and let's figure this out together. Okay, first things first. Just watching tutorials is not enough. I know, no, we love a good tutorial binge, but if you are just watching without actually doing the exercises, you are not really learning. Think about it like this. You can watch 100 videos on how to do push-ups, but unless you actually do them, you are not getting stronger. Same with art. Next time you watch a tutorial, pause it, draw along, take what you learn and apply it immediately. Even better, try teaching it to someone else. If you can explain a concept, it means you really understand it. Okay, next problem. And this one's big. If you always draw the same things, same poses, same angles, same comfortable subjects, you're not growing. You're just reinforcing what you already know. Trust me, I get it. We all have our safe zone, but improvement happens outside of that. If you want to get better, you got to challenge yourself. For example, now I feel that I'm stuck on drawing people. Well, yes, my main field is connected with this. I draw children's books, and the main characters in the books that I illustrate are people. I felt that I was stuck on this. In one of the illustrations, I had to draw a cat, and I struggled to be this for a long time. That's when I realized that I need to develop the skill of drawing animals. Therefore, I want to devote the next month to this. What I would like to advise you. Try flipping your usual process. If you always draw front-facing characters, try extreme angles. If you always use digital, do some traditional studies. If you struggle with backgrounds, force yourself to sketch environments for a week. Growth happens when things feel uncomfortable. Here's a tough one. If your art isn't improving but you don't know why, it's probably a fundamentals problem. And I know fundamentals is a word we hear all the time but secretly ignore because we just want to draw cool stuff. But if your proportions feel off, your lighting looks weird, or your poses feel stiff, chances are you need to go back to the basics. Set aside some time to do dedicated studies. Gesture drawing, lighting practice, form studies. They're not as exciting as finished pieces, but they will make your work 10x better. From my own experience, I can say that it's worth periodically returning to the basic knowledge of anatomy, perspective, even if your style implies a violation of proportions. I sometimes review the books that I studied at the university, and when I refresh my knowledge, it gives a greater boost for further growth. I'm starting to see mistakes in drawings that I didn't think were mistakes at all. If you only ever look at stylized art for inspiration, you're kind of building your skills on top of someone else's mistakes. I'm all for learning from artists you admire, but if you never study from real life, your work is gonna feel off. Try this. Pick a real life reference, sketch it as accurately as possible, then stylize it. This helps you understand structure before you simplify it. Trust me, your art will feel way more solid. This one's hard but real. If you never get feedback, you're missing out on one of the fastest ways to improve. Post your work in communities, ask for constructive critique, redraw old pieces with what you've learned. The best artists aren't the ones who never make mistakes, they are the ones who correct them. And I understand that it may be painful to read something about your drawing into which you put your whole soul. But if the criticism is truly constructive, for example, from a person who is an example for you in drawing, then I think this will be the best motivational feedback. You can participate in free videos analysis on YouTube, for example, or take mentorship from some artists. In any case, you should be ready to face the fact that your work will be analyzed. Alright, let's recap. If you feel stuck in your art journey, ask yourself, are you just watching tutorials instead of practicing? Staying in your comfort zone? Ignoring the fundamentals? Avoiding real life studies? Not seeking feedback? And hey, we all get stuck sometimes, but the artists who improve, they're the ones who keep pushing forward. You got this. What's one thing you've been struggling with in your art? Drop a comment, I'd love to help. Keep creating and keep improving.